This is WAITRES Media. British man killed in Kenya after being knocked over by President William Ruto's overspeeding motorcade. Hello and good afternoon, our delighted viewer. Welcome to 1 p.m. News Bulletin with I, Alex Waiter. A tragic accident has occurred today in Nairobi, where Frederick Riches, a 79-year-old British and retired bank manager, has been killed by a speeding vehicle from President William Ruto's motorcade. Mercy John has more details.
A tragic incident has occurred in Nairobi, Kenya, where Edgar Riches, a 79-year-old British tourist and a retired bank manager, was hit and killed by an overspeeding vehicle from President William Ruto's motorcade. Edgar Charles Frederick, 79, was killed on Thursday following the incident as President William Ruto's motorcade made its way to public engagement in the capital, Nairobi. The driver of the government vehicle was arrested and later released on a cash bail, police spokesperson Michael Muchiri said on Friday. A British High Commission spokesperson said it was liaising with the authorities. The accident caused an outrage on social media as Kenyans questioned why the president's motorcade drivers were driving at high speed in a busy major road. Videos shared on social media showed the victim lying on the tarmac road with heavy bleeding on his head. Heather, the vehicle that him did not even stop after the accident. The presidential motorcade, often made up of dozens of vehicles, is driven in high speeds for security reasons, according to the police. Muchiri told the BBC that Frederick had been visiting Kenya to see his sister and nephew, who are residents of country. Reporting live from the crime scene, my name is Mercy John.
Elsewhere, Kenyan woman arrested for drug trafficking in Vietnam to be executed tomorrow. Alex Waiter with more details. In July 2023, Vietnamese authorities arrested Ms. Masharia at Ho Chi Minh City Tan So International Airport after discovering over 2 kilograms of cocaine concealed in her luggage. She had traveled through Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Kenya, Bole International Airport in Ethiopia, and Ahmad International Airport in Qatar without detection before her apprehension in Vietnam. During her trial, Ms. Masharia claimed that a Kenyan man known only as John had hired her to transport the suitcase to a woman in Laos, for which she received $1,300 and had her travel expenses covered. She maintained that she was unaware of the suitcase's contents. However, the court found her guilty of drug trafficking on March 6, 2025 and sentenced her to death. Reporting live from Nairobi County, my name is Alex Waiter. ODM party leader Raila Odinga once again finds himself in the government and joined hands with the ruling party, vowing to move the country's development agendas to the right direction. More report with Duncan Elijah.
For President William Ruto, this moment looked improbable, if not outrightly unacceptable. Dr. Ruto, a presidential candidate in the year 2022, led a crusade against Uhuru Raila handshake, taking his utter dissatisfaction even to Chatham House in the United Kingdom, promising a stoppage to what he termed as handshake politics that led to a birth of a mongrel. It is the stand that he maintained when he ascended to presidency, and 4 months after being sworn into office, he linked all ills to Uhuru Raila handshake abroad. Ruto's script remained similar, ruling out any engagement with Raila Odinga and his ODM party, who led countrywide demonstration over high cost of living. Raila Odinga, a veteran of handshakes, familiar with the formula, started during the tenure of Moi, where his National Development Party merged with KANU, where Odinga became the Secretary General of the new KANU. In the year 2007 and its ugly aftermath which engulfed the country, offered Odinga another political lifeline, becoming a prime minister in a power-sharing deal with President Mwai Kibaki, midwifed by the late United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan. Then came the Harambee House moment, another handshake this time with Uhuru Kenyatta, by all measure unexpected. The two embarking on a political journey to 2022, Odinga, the Kenyatta's candidate, losing out to Ruto, this time a Kenyatta's fall. Just as the culture of handshake politics seemed to be dimming, there appeared these pictures from Kisozi Farm in Uganda of President Ruto, Raila and Museveni, which was believed to be another handshake deal, this time with Ruto. And so 2 days before the 7th anniversary of the March 9th, 2018 anniversary of the Uhuru-Raila handshake, these once worn political enemies appended their signatures. They qualified the union as an antidote to Kenya's socio-economic and political challenges. Odinga, the constant factor in the equation. Questions, however, abound on how this will extricate the country from the outlying challenges when similar political marriages happened in the past. Duncan Elijah reporting to Dan TV.
In the education sector, mathematics is not a compulsory subject in senior secondary school under the competence-based curriculum CBC. More report with Felix Masai.
The Kenya Ministry of Education has announced that mathematics will no longer be a compulsory subject for students transitioning to senior secondary schools under the competency-based curriculum CBC. The significant changes allows learners with greater flexibility to select subjects aligning with their career aspirations and interests. These proposals by Kenyan Ministry of Education to make mathematics optional for senior secondary students has sparked a nationwide debate. Under this plan, students will be required to study 4 core subjects, which include English or Kenyan Sign Language, Kiswahili, Physical Education, and Community Service Learning, while selecting 3 additional subjects from a list of 38 electives, thereby rendering mathematics non-compulsory. Proponents of the proposals argue that making mathematics optional could reduce intimidation and alienation among students, allowing them to focus on subjects aligned with their strengths and interests. Conversely, critics express concerns this move might undermine the country's intellectual and economic competitiveness, given the fundamental role of mathematics in various fields. The Ministry of Education believes this approach will allow students to focus on areas where they have strengths and genuine interest, potentially leading to better education outcome. As the policy is implemented, ongoing discussions among educators, industries, professionals, and policymakers will be crucial to address concerns and ensure curriculum meets the nation's education. Felix Masai, reporting from Narok County.
Kenya's healthcare system is currently facing significant challenges, particularly in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Recently, international aid disruption, particularly cuts in USAID funding, have led to a looming shortage of antiretroviral drugs, ARVs, putting the lives of over 1.4 million Kenyans at risk. Felix Masai has more details.
Healthcare system in Kenya is facing significant challenges, especially in the fight against killer diseases such as HIV and AIDS. The recent international disruptions, such as the cut of USAID funding, which has led to the looming and shortages of the antiretroviral drugs.
My name is Dr. Serem, and I work on Masai Mara University Health Unit. Some weaknesses I can say, we can talk about resource constraints. The health system is often underfunded, leading to inadequate medical supplies, insufficient healthcare facilities, and lack of essential medications. Right now in Kenya, when the change of leadership in the USA made a big impact in our health sector, and you see there are those people who depend on ARVs for existence, and to be categorical in this case, I'm talking about the people who have HIV infections. One way is through prioritization of patients, where this is where clinic and hospitals we are tasked with the priority, with the ability to prioritize patients who require ARVs based on clinical need, often leading to difficult ethical decisions.
And our viewer, that news has brought us to the end of our today's news bulletin here in WAITRES Media. Keep following us through our various social media platforms at #WAITRES Media. At that point, I don't have much to say rather than wishing you a fantabulous night ahead.